I wanted to do a response video to the powerlifting to win dirty little secret to programming that no one wants you to know for a couple reasons. Number one, I know if I do a response to that and I post it in the comments, it'll get a lot more views that way than if I just post it on my channel, since I don't have as many subscribers as he does. Number two, I disagree slightly with what he says. But number three, I am going to defend him a little bit because there's a bunch of people bashing him. And in some cases, I don't think he deserves to be bashed, at least the way he was. So, and here's why. So he says in his video, The Dirty Little Secret of Programming That No One Wants You to Know, that any program will work as long as you, essentially, the main point of what he was saying is that any program will work as long as you increase the volume and do more work. Which, the do more work part, I agree with. I don't necessarily agree with saying that you have to increase volume, because I think as long as you're progressing in one way, shape, or form or another, you're going to make progress. Like you don't even necessarily have to add weight to the bar to do it. And if you don't add weight to the bar, then yeah, you probably do need to increase the volume in some way. Either A, do a few more reps with the weight that you've done X number of reps with before, or do another set with it. So yes, adding volume will help you, but I think it's the general idea of work. And another part that I agree with that he said was taking your body to a place it's never been before in regards to training. Doing something in training that you haven't done before. I mean, you're basically setting personal records. So maybe that is a volume PR. Maybe you take a weight that you've done before and, instead of doing 3 sets of 5, now you're able to do 4 sets of 5 or 5 sets of 5. Or the other way to do it without increasing volume is if you were able to do 3 sets of 5 with a weight, now you add 5 pounds of that and you work towards achieving that same amount of volume with heavier weight. That is, by definition, more work, because you're moving more weight and your total tonnage is more because you did more weight for more reps and sets. I know it's dumb, it's obvious, but I just disagree that volume is the key to progression. I don't think you have to do that, because I know that Mike T is someone that Izzy looks up to a lot, and that's fine. And I think he does a lot of good stuff with the way he coaches and trains and programs with RTS or whatever you want to call it, and if you want to call it a program or not. But I remember watching one of his videos, Mike T, where he said eventually you would have to do so much volume that you wouldn't even have enough time in the day to get it all done. And he was basically speaking more or less in an absolute that to continue to move forward, you've got to do more volume. And again, I disagree with that, and I'm nowhere near the level that either one of these two guys are on as far as knowledge. But based on my own personal experience and just understanding the body and how you make it adapt, and what Izzy said was 100% correct, you have to force it to adapt. If I go in the gym and constantly do 3 sets of 5 with 315, I'm going to stay right where I am. I may even go backwards. Whereas if I'm constantly finding a way to do more work, and yes, volume will help, but it's not the only way to skin the cat, and you could certainly, in my opinion, get stronger without ever increasing the volume. Just attack weaknesses and add weight to the bar. And that that may take you longer to do, but my issue that I have with the volume is eventually you're doing so much volume, and yeah, your body adapts to it, but the human body by itself can only take so much, and stuff's going to start to break down, and you're going to run into injuries. And I've been injured for the last year and a half, and I'm just now getting over that. And I'm a drug-free, train my lifts once a week guy. And I've made progress, and I think this meet that I'm doing here in about 10 or 11 days is going to be one of the best meets I've ever had. And I think I'm going to be able to, I think I have a shot at even setting a PR on my deadlift, which I've trained it's been ridiculous. I haven't been able to train it frequently or with any kind of intensity in the sumo form, which is my strongest pull, and I still think I'm going to be able to hit a PR because I was able to actually train the movement enough where I could make some progress, and I think I'm still going to be able to hit a PR. The same thing with my squat. I hit it before getting into the knee wraps. I was able to make progress and hit a 14-pound PR squatting once a week. Volume. I never did more than 5 sets of 5, and in many cases I was doing 2 to 3 actual sets of competition style squat. So my point is that there's 100 million ways to skin the cat, and adding volume is not the only way to get stronger. And like I said, I would even argue that you can certainly increase your strength by not even touching the volume aspect of it and just attacking weaknesses using variations of the lift, or by simply adding weight to the bar and doing the same number of sets that you did before with just more weight. Obviously you can't do that every time you go into the gym, but over time you can make that happen. So that's really all I wanted to say. I don't think he deserved quite the bashing he was getting. And people in powerlifting generally like to talk a lot, and that's okay, I guess. Whatever floats your boat. I'm not really mad at anybody. I'm just trying to get my YouTube channel some views and talk about this because I find it interesting, but I also have some differing views. So that's that. In the first video I made, I forgot to actually include an actual defense of Izzy in his video, The Dirty Little Secret to Programming. Fact is, what he said is 100% correct. You will get stronger by increasing the volume. It is a stimulus that your body has to adapt to. So everyone can actually increase their strength by increasing the volume. Is that the only way for you to get stronger? No. But it will force your body to adapt in a positive way so that it does not experience a similar breakdown that it would to that type of volume in the future. So you will get stronger doing that. Everyone will get stronger doing that. It's a stimulus that your body has to adapt to. That's fact. Will some people respond better to a different type of stimuli or stimulus? Yes. So, no, not everyone will benefit as much from an increase in volume, but it's fact that you will see increased strength from increasing the volume. So what he said is true, whether you want to believe it or not. And my second little piece here is go on his website, go on his YouTube channel, and check out what he does. It's quality. His videos are good. His articles are well written. He doesn't take shortcuts. They're not little weekend projects that some people sling together just to make an extra buck. Like, he's actually passionate about this. Like, you can tell he really puts his heart and soul into it. So he's putting out a lot of effort to produce high quality stuff that's 9 times out of 10 backed by solid evidence and even science in many cases. So there's quite a bit going on with this dude as far as his videos and what he talks about, and it's totally acceptable for you to disagree with what he's saying. Nobody, heck, if you even want to call him stupid or an idiot, I suppose that's fine too. But after that, what's the point in getting into personal attacks on someone just because you disagree with them when the fact of the matter is what they're saying is actually true? You're entitled to disagree with it. That's totally fine, but that's really all there is to it. Why go any further?